All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Two Player Podcast with myself and my buddy Ham Solo. We
Not your
got
buddy guy.
well, it's too fucking bad because you are. We got news to talk about, specifically the big news to talk about this week. But before we get into any of
City's
that,
found not guilty. That's the big
that is the big
news.
news. And who could forget DeAndre Ayton signing to the Lakers? I
You're
love
just saying
li-
that because it makes you cackle.
it does because it's so funny, dude. That's such a trash ass. All right,
They
but
got a center.
they got a center. You can't argue with that. They got a tall person on their team, and he's tall. You can't argue that. You really can't.
He's good a few.
Um,
He's good a few years back. I feel like when he was at the Suns, he was his best.
he was solid. He was even solid sometimes in Portland. He's just one of those dudes.
Yeah,
He's
when
one
he
of those
first got
dudes.
there.
Yeah, he's one of those dudes. I feel like he probably he has so much talent, but he doesn't seem to care. Like he doesn't seem to super care. Like not to go into whole sports and everything, but like remember when Ant Edwards came out of college and everybody's like, yeah, he's really talented, but his heart's not really in it. I don't think he's gonna pan out. That's kind of how I feel about DeAndre Ayton. Got the talent, but he just doesn't really care about it. Meanwhile, Ant's a fucking demon. But besides the point, we're here to talk about games. So, Ham, before we get into anything, let everybody know what you've been playing, what you've been up to, how's it going.
Um, haven't been doing too much lately. Just still kind of settling in and been working quite a bit lately. So I haven't been having time to do too much. The time that I have been having, I've just spent with family, playing some Dune, playing a little bit of 2K with you guys, and
Mm-hmm.
I'd say that's about it.
That's about it. You didn't mention that you played a specific
And I
PlayStation game.
didn't play anything else.
You didn't play a
I only
specific
have my PlayStation
PlayStation game
hooked up.
for 2 hours, get a couple of trophies in there. You didn't do that. No,
No, I didn't.
no. So Ham hasn't played Death Stranding, which is crazy because we're going to be talking about our impressions of Death Stranding too a little bit later. Uh,
You're gonna be talking about your impressions. That's cool.
I will, and so will you. You'll be there too, but it'll be a good time.
I'll tell you my impression of what it looks like.
It will be
Looks
a good
nice.
time. I'm looking forward to hearing what
Okay.
you think about the little bit that you've played of that game. Um, but Rachie, appreciate you
Can
for
we play
stopping
it?
by. Rachie says Crazy and Plume just started streaming, and now Solo and Games are streaming too. We absolutely are. And it's hey, you choose what you want to listen to, and you can always listen to whichever one later. That's the good thing about YouTube. All the stuff is archived. All the stuff is archived. You listen whenever the fuck you want to listen, bud. Um, as for
Don't listen to
myself,
Matt. Listen to
I
Ham.
mean, I don't know what you said. You cutting out. Sorry, interference. Uh, as for myself, I've been playing. I'll say it because I'm not afraid to say it. I've been playing Death
I'm not either.
Stranding too. Well, yeah, he is. He didn't want to say
I can't
he
wait.
started this charade last night where he's like, I didn't play Death Stranding, even though I saw him online playing
I
Death Stranding
didn't
too. I saw him online
start
playing it,
anything.
and then I was like, "Oh, how'd you like it?" And he's like, I don't know what you mean. I didn't play it. I don't know what
I
you're talking
haven't
about."
played the game.
Yep, he hasn't played the game. So he's just
I
gonna
haven't.
continue. He's gonna continue that charade. But I, on the other hand, am gonna tell you right now, I've been playing Death Stranding too, and I have
It looks
been
like a good game.
loving it. What's that?
I said it looks good.
It is good, and I think it's good too. Uh, that game is great. That game is everything I enjoyed about Death Stranding 1. It's got more action, more emphasis on weapons, more vehicles, music, soundtrack. I mean, the soundtrack is great as well. They switched it up. It's not all the same. It's not like just Low Aurora. I mean, there are more
Oh yeah.
people, but yeah, Yeah, yeah. You know that because you heard the first song. But
I
um,
haven't heard anything. And I mean, I might have. I mean, I listen to a lot of music, so.
yeah, maybe that might be it. Rachie says Death Stranding one walking is fun, but the story and cutscenes ruins it for. I like the whole experience, and it's the same for Death Stranding too. I actually really like people shit on the gameplay in Death Stranding. I really enjoy it. I think it's pretty chill. Like it's easy to play. It's chill. I played a decent amount of it just walking around while we were on the on your guys' podcast earlier.
Oh
On
yeah,
TSWS Gaming, I was playing Death Stranding 2, just doing random deliveries. It's a super easy game to relax and play. Music's great. I like, dude, the story. I'll say so far the story in the second one is way easier to follow than the first one, especially the beginning of the first one. The story was just like, dude, what the fuck is even going on in this game? This one's a lot easier to follow, at least to me. It is. Makes a lot more sense, but that's also probably because I played the first one. But all around, I'm
that's
loving the
probably good.
game. It is. It is good. You know about it. Uh, but all around, I'm really enjoying the game. I've also been playing Car X
Just saying
Street.
stuff.
They added new vehicles to the game. I mean, I'm playing.
Mm.
You can see here Outer Worlds. I've been kind of going through that, although that's kind of on the back burner because Death Stranding's out right now. I've been, but I've been replaying Outer Worlds. I still haven't played one of the final DLC for it, but I'll get around to it. But that's pretty much it. Mostly Death Stranding, Car X, and then NBA 2K with Ham and my buddy Bill. Uh, but that's what we've been playing. Let's go ahead and quickly hop in to the news, big news for the day. In fact, before we do that, Raichi says finished Gears 3 yesterday. Gameplay is the best of the trilogy, but the cutscenes in this game, they kept the game kept taking my controller and made me watch cinematics. Gears 3. In fact, I'll ask you in a second, Ham. But for my money, Gears 3 is the best Gears of War. I love the story in that game. Like I know you said you don't like the cutscenes, Richie. I fucking love them. The gameplay is excellent. Obviously Marcus Phoenix characters, Dom, badasses, uh, sensational. That's my favorite. But I'm gonna ask you real quick, Ham. What is your favorite Gears of War game? To you, what is the best one?
Mm, probably, probably two.
Probably two. Is really good. Two is really good. That'd probably be
Because that's
second
the
on
one
the
where
list.
that's where Dom goes, right?
Dom goes three.
Three. Oh, three. Okay, so
Something happens to Dom in two. Something pretty traumatic happens to Dom in two, but Dom goes three.
okay.
Yeah.
So it might be three then. I always get two and three mixed up for some reason. I don't know why.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but so there's a scene,
Yeah.
and you can tell me which scene, which one it's in.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a scene where he walks up on his wife.
That's two. That's two.
Yeah, that's the one then. That's two.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one then.
That's a heavy ass moment. That is
That.
very.
Yeah. So that's why I chose two
Mm-hmm.
because that moment to me was so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It was
It was.
incredibly uncomfortable. Him dying was less uncomfortable than that
Yeah.
moment was for me.
Yeah.
Because when he seen what he had seen, I was just like, man.
Yeah. Not only is his wife like cooked, but like just the way that happened
Yep.
and the fact that he saw it as just not cool. It was a very not cool moment. Uh,
Yeah, it was like it reminded me of he said not he's like he said not cool, bro. Or
not
something
cool.
like that.
Yeah, he's like, whoa, not cool, gang. he's,
Yeah.
he's not cool, gang.
that's, that's exactly what that moment reminded me of. I was just
uh,
like, yeah, that was really not cool.
applies perfectly to that situation too, because Dom has flashbacks about that. Dom was having flashbacks about that. He's like, "Whoa, not cool, gang." All right, just, that shit was great.
It
Uh,
is pretty uncool.
but yeah, Gears 2 is a good choice too. That like I said, that'd be my second. Gears 3, Gears 2.
Gears 3 Gears 3 kinda pissed me off a little bit
Uh,
because after you lost Dom,
mm-hmm.
I just didn't like the companions and that you ended up with for a little while. Like, it's
Mm.
just like it like, to me, it was like one of those moments where it's just like, "I don't hate you, but it's just too soon."
Oh yeah, can't replace Dom. I
Because
agree.
because remember, you were playing I was playing as Dom, remember.
I do. Yeah.
So, like, I remember I was playing as the other guys, and I was like, "This," I mean, exactly that. Not cool, gang.
Not cool, gang.
I don't want to be this. I don't want to be this dude.
Oh, dude. Yeah,
This
I
dude
get
doesn't
that.
replace him good enough.
No, not good enough, and not that soon. You can't do it. It's impossible.
Yeah, that
So
was really not cool.
Rach,
Gang.
not cool, gang. Woohoo! Right, she says, until now, the young Carmine and Gears 2 was the saddest death. Um, his sniping saved me many
That
times.
was the funniest death to
Dude,
me.
Carmine just constantly, just like that family, that whole bloodline, just, it's like Kenny. It's like Kenny from South Park. They're all just dying. Terrible, awful deaths. Wasn't it like the first game? The way they introduced Carmine dying was like he got his fucking head exploded with a sniper headshot. It was it was nuts. They really don't give a shit about Carmine and Gears. They'll kill him
It
so quick.
reminds me of the Doyle family and the Adam Sandler movies. They're like, "Oh, Doyle rules" as they drove off a cliff.
Oh my god. Yeah.
You know
I
what I'm
haven't
talking about?
I do. I have not I legit haven't watched an Adam Sandler movie since, which is crazy because I have a couple like on DVD for sure. Like Mr. Deeds was the shit. But my favorite Adam Sandler movie,
This is great.
my favorite Adam Sandler movie by far is Waterboy. Not even close. It's
Oh,
Waterboy.
really?
I
Wee. You like
I
that?
I love Water. Dude, there was a summer where like I watched Waterboy like once a week probably. Just like it would be too hot to go
Jesus.
outside, and I was
Okay.
inside playing games. I was watching Waterboy, and I had um one of those like portable DVD players like with like the little screen on it, like a really cheap crappy one. But like I had one, and that's how I play Halo 3 and watch Waterboy. That's what I was doing for like a summer. But yeah, I got pretty obsessed with Waterboy. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into these
Did you
Xbox.
did you did you yell at your mama for not letting you play foosball?
It's funny because she literally didn't. She literally did not let me play football. My dad was like, he'll play
Couldn't play the
football,
foos.
and my mom's like, yeah, fucking right, he ain't playing football. And my dad's like, okay, well then basketball. And basketball was the better choice. I'll say that. But
Did your mom go, ah?
she said I remember vividly. My mom said foosball is the devil. It's the devil, Bobby. That's what she told me. Um, but My God.
Uh,
Just talking about Adam Sandler movies now. I don't even. That's great. I love that movie.
it's
Uh,
it's getting you bothered.
it's not. I could legit talk about. I could talk about the Water Boy for a while. We won't,
He
but I
needs a
could.
fan. He needs a fan, you guys. He's getting a little bothered.
It's a great
He
movie.
needs to cool down.
It's a classic. Don't hate on me. Uh, but Xbox layoffs on a on a very
Yeah,
real
that's a
on a very
classic too.
real yeah, you're not wrong. On a very real, very grim note, Xbox layoffs started today. We don't know for sure, but by all reports, it sounds like again started today. It doesn't sound like it started and ended today. Feels like this might be the first of a few things to come. Uh, but we've got big shutdowns. I mean, the initiative is the big one. An Xbox like made studio made back in when did they make announce that? Like 2019. The studio showed off their game in 2020. Uh, it was years until we saw it again. We saw Perfect Dark at last year's Xbox showcase, and to me, that was the game of the show. That stole the show, and a show that was stacked with games. That one stole the show for me. And then here we are a year later, and games canceled, and the studio is dead. But that's not the only one suffering cuts. We got Turn 10 as well, losing 50% of its staff, which is pretty damn huge. My God. And then you also
He ain't
got
that neat.
then you got ZeniMax Online with their MMORPG unannounced that has apparently that I was reading up on it was apparently in development since 2018.
Isn't that even better?
That is crazy. That is canceled. ZeniMax Online is still alive, so they're in a better position than the initiative. But God, they were working on that game for almost 8 years, and we don't even know what it was. I mean, I guess we'll probably find out soon, like it'll leak, but we don't even really know what it was, which is nuts. Um, but man, like, there's so many things to go over. But before we get into the details and everything, we knew this was coming this week. Like they news media did a pretty good job, or game outlets, whatever, video game journalists did a pretty good job of preparing everybody. Like, yo, this is gonna happen next week. So here we are. It happened. It's happening. Whatever you want to say. Ham, what are you thinking? Was this? I don't know if I want to frame the question that way, but was this kind of what you expected when you were seeing the things you were seeing? Because remember last week it was like there were murmurings like this wasn't like regular layoffs. This was going to be very very bad. And with all that context, was this kind of what you were expected? Is it any worse? Sounds terrible to say than what you were expecting. Is it about what you were expecting? How are you feeling?
I think it's a little worse than I expected, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Like I knew there was gonna be some layoffs, and I mean, layoffs are never fine, sure.
Yeah,
And but I mean, but like any business has layoffs, so it's like not the
that's true.
craziest, most surprising thing that I've ever seen or heard of. So to be like, oh my God, that's, I don't know, like I first think about my own household and has any of us seen layoffs? Yeah. I mean, I've had a layoff. My wife has been laid off. Everybody,
Yeah,
if
it's
you work for a
life.
big enough company for a long enough time, you either grow enough to you either grow and love it, grow to hate it, or you're there until you get laid off, or you quit. Like there's really only like four directions to go with that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I mean, it does suck to see, but like 9,000 is a big number.
Yeah.
And and I know, and it's crazy to think that that's only a fraction of Microsoft still,
Yeah. Like we're sat here
because
just
like
talking about
I seen
Xbox.
9,000. I said, oh, yeah, yeah, because this was not just an Xbox layoff. It
Mhm.
was like, and it wasn't even a predominantly Xbox layoff. It was just they're involved like more than just a little bit, right? They're like,
Yep.
they're getting a fair share. They're getting their share of that 9,000, right? But it's not all. But it's not like it's not like the 9,000 is just Xbox.
Mhm.
Like some people would let you think. I'm just shocked at some of the recent stuff, and kind of I'm also shocked that it seems like not all of it is like just for slimming down or anything like that. Seeing a big group like, or supposedly a fairly sized group like Initiative get completely dismantled a year after showing off their game that they got everybody hyped for, that a lot of people could and probably did say was their favorite part of the showcase,
Mhm.
is just gone.
It's
And
nuts.
that is gone, and that is gone after it being in quite a bit of turmoil for a little while. But to me, I find it weird. Like, to me, it was like they're fighting really hard, right? That like you can hear them yelling inside of their apartment or house or something like that, scream, and dishes break and stuff like that. And then they ask you to go out to dinner, which is the Xbox showcase. You go out there and they tell you that they just got engaged. And you're like, oh, I'm so happy for you. And a year later, they're like, engagement broke off and we're actually, moving to different states because we can't stand each other anymore. And it's like, wow, that escalated quickly. Like, like we
She
went from
took my
thinking
house.
that, yeah, well, yeah, we went from thinking, oh, this is looking rough, I don't know if they can make it, to, oh, they got it together, to, oh, yeah, yeah, okay,
No, not
that's
quite.
that's what we thought. That's what we thought. And it, like, that's what kind of burns about this round of firings for Microsoft in particular, is because, like, in certain aspects they kind of led us down a road to believe something was maintainable, or response, something that they could, essentially, figure out what issues they've had with other studios and stuff like that, and like kind of come to figure it out together, because it was like their premiere, we just put this together, this is this generational studio type of thing, the way they talked about it when they released and came out with that studio. So to
Yeah.
see it just like crumble without even getting a game across, and then not only was it just like a game, but it was a high level IP. Like, it was a well known, like, people knew what to expect. There was already a name. The character has been used before, and you're taking them from from 2 to 3 generations prior and bringing them to now.
Yeah.
So, like, a lot of people were excited about that. Like, I don't know. I feel like if you were to announce today that SOCOM is coming back, and then 4 years later say, sorry, I think that disappoint quite a bit of people.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
So, I mean, I mean, I know this is more of a single player game, and it had multiplayer aspects to it, but and so comes multiplayer, but it still resonated to a lot of people's hearts like that because when Perfect Dark came out on the 64, it was like supposed to be like the GoldenEye killer, and although I wouldn't say it exactly killed GoldenEye, it definitely stood strong next to it, and it kept
Yeah.
going, and I'd almost say that Perfect Dark kept their IP stronger than 007 did throughout the years.
Oh, definitely in gaming, not even close. Cause dude,
Yeah, 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 exactly.
like Nightfire. There was a couple PS2 and original Xbox like 007s, but like
They never became GoldenEye again, though.
yeah,
GoldenEye was the
nothing
one
ever
time.
got to GoldenEye.
World
But
is Not Enough was the next closest thing, and that didn't even get close.
Jesus, I forgot about World Is Not Enough. I always think of
Yeah, that was the
Nightfire.
that was the World Is Not Enough was the one right after. Right, it was the one right after 007 GoldenEye, and I remember because it was in a blue. It was in a blue blue cartridge on the 64, and
Man,
that one I think actually that one actually came to PS2 and stuff, I believe,
I'll look that up.
where GoldenEye didn't.
Yeah, GoldenEye definitely didn't. Yeah, all the PS2 version of 007 The World Is Not Enough was canceled halfway through its development
Oh, it
cycle.
was canceled. Oh, okay, wow. Okay,
Yeah,
I thought it did come out. I didn't know it was canceled. All I know is I had the 64 at the time, so I had the 64 version.
on the OG PlayStation it was. I must have played that. I must have played that. I don't remember though.
So it was on the OG PlayStation.
It was on the OG PlayStation and N64.
Oh, okay. So that's where I seen it over there for PlayStation. I was gonna say I could have swore it came out for PlayStation.
Yeah. Let's see here. But yeah, I like if we go through I mean, this is like a roundup of all that happened today at Xbox. Raven Software hit with layoffs. Turnitin Studios, uh, hugely impacted. Still alive, but hugely impacted. We didn't even mention Rare and Everwild. Everwild is canceled. I said it on your show earlier. I legit thought Everwild was canceled years ago at this point. I'm not even making a joke. I honestly thought it was canceled. I thought they said that like a couple of years ago. Apparently it wasn't, but it is now. So that stinks for anybody who was excited for that. The new MMO from ZeniMax Online, whatever that was going to be, reportedly codenamed Blackbird, was canceled. Perfect Dark and the Initiative, we just talked about that. High Moon Studios with Call of Duty suffered big layoffs. Sledgehammer Games with Call of Duty suffers big layoffs. And Blizzard and Warcraft Rumble. Uh, Looks like Blizzard suffered some layoffs as well. So again, this is one of those things like the way this is being reported, this is kind of the start of this big round of layoffs. Maybe it's just the start for Microsoft, maybe it doesn't get worse for Xbox, maybe it does get worse for Xbox. Who really knows? We're going to find out I guess over the next few days. But I mean, really not much. It's not good. I'm not like there's really no way you could ever possibly spend this, and especially for me personally, as somebody who, like I said, I was so hyped for Perfect Dark, and just the fact that that's dead in the studio, and not even so much that Perfect Dark's dead, which sucks, but just that the studio is also dead is kind of insane.
Yeah,
When
they did nothing to prove themselves. You
nothing,
know.
nothing at all. They did absolutely nothing, and they were built to be like. I remember the joke whenever the initiative was like first announced, and I think they might have
Quadruple A.
actually, yeah, they might have actually put it in a blog post about the initiative, like quadruple A, and here we are. It's 2025, and it's like quadruple A, huh? That's something. Because
Mm,
I mean, shit,
yeah, I don't like anybody saying quadruple A anymore. Ubisoft, Xbox, you guys don't
it's
know
it's
what you're talking about
cringe.
anymore.
It's
Just
cringe.
overspending, nothing.
It's cringe. Like hearing that is cringe. Like I thought it was cringe to hear that when they said it for initiative, and that was back when nobody was saying quadruple A. That was back before Ubisoft was saying this shit. Like I remember when that was in like the blog post on Xbox. It's like what? And it's like then you go like you just mentioned Ubisoft. Ubisoft says it with what's their Sea of Thieves clone? Can't even remember the name of it. Uh, shit.
CSV. Uh, uh,
Skull and
Skull
Bones.
and
Skull
Bones.
and Bones. Skull and Bones. And they call that quadruple A. It's like, dude, that that means nothing to me at this point. Like if Skull and Bones is quadruple A and this was quadruple A and this shit doesn't even exist anymore, then that we got to stop saying quadruple A because that doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean anything at this point. In fact, if anything, I have very negative connotations with whenever I hear quadruple A now. I have very negative connotations, so we got to stop that.
Yeah,
Uh, um,
yeah. Like when I hear quadruple A anymore, it sounds like you you got hope. That's all you got. You don't
yep,
got anything but hope right now.
you got some hope,
And I
man.
mean, until like now, like hearing that like a trailer isn't even gonna do anymore. You know, because we've got a couple of quadruple A trailers, and I tell you, they didn't pan out.
No, they did not. Fuzzy Tomato, appreciate you for stopping by. Reggie says quadruple A means we don't know what we are doing. That's what it seems like at this point. We don't know what we're doing. We're called quadruple A.
Yeah, you just got hope. You just got hope.
Yep.
That's it.
We hope this succeeds. We don't know what the fuck it is. We'll maybe possibly maybe figure it out while we're making it. But I mean, we just saw Perfect Dark. Even that's not guaranteed. We might not figure it out. We might just get the game canceled and the studio cooked. It's unfortunate, but goddamn, man, it really stinks. And like I said, this could just be the beginning. Could get worse. I'm assuming because it's Wednesday. Usually they like to do really bad news on Fridays. This is really bad news and it's happening on a Wednesday. So I would imagine the next 2 days probably gonna have some similar things happening. Hopefully not, but I mean, if we're doing this on a Wednesday instead of a Friday, then what the fuck is Thursday and Friday going to be like? I don't know. Um, but that's what's going on with Xbox. I mean, what like let's talk about Everwild for a second because, like I said, I thought this shit was canceled already. I thought it was already done. Apparently it wasn't, and now it officially is. What are your thoughts on this? Because we literally saw this. I think we only officially saw this game once, right? And
I mean, yeah, unless you want to count like sizzle reel trailers or stuff like that, right?
yeah, so like at a showcase, we saw this game once,
Yeah.
and I mean here we are. It's canceled. Like, and this was one of the games because I think they showed this off even before that big massive showcase in 2020 where it was like Fable, Perfect Dark, um shit, what else was there's like a State of Decay 3, like um we saw all that at this one showcase, and even before that showcase the year before we saw Everwild. So this was like the first thing that they showed. um I mean, we've talked before. I know you weren't exactly hyped for Everwild. Neither was I. I'm not going to pretend that I was. But are you shocked? It's a dumb question. Are you shocked that we're at this point where Everwild is officially canceled?
A little, but not super. I mean, they didn't show anything or talk about it. Studio
Mm-hmm.
has been in turmoil. This is the way I would have expected Perfect Dark to go.
Yeah, yeah. I agree with you on that actually, because like the shit we just said, like I get canceling Perfect Dark if you weren't confident in it, but like you look at Everwild and Rare, it's like yeah, you canceled Everwild, but Rare's still there. They still got a shot. They still got a shot, and the initiative does not. Fuzzy Tomato says, "I think the major stuff is done. We will just hear about a few people let go here and there for the next few days." I'm hoping that's the case. I mean, like I'm hoping that the worst of it all is over. I'm hoping this is the big fucking hit, and everything else is just some minor things, some minor whatever here and there. I'm hoping that's the case. Um, it's just the fact that it happened on Wednesday is like, you know, I I don't have a good feeling about it. Rachie says, "I say everything will go and AI will take over. We're not quite there. Give it 10 years. Give it 10 years. We'll probably be there. Maybe sooner. Who knows if some of these companies have their way. Um, but let's see, man. I don't like. You know what? Before we actually talk about, I was gonna do a little bit of stuff on Death Stranding, but before we do that, we just talked about some horrible Xbox news. Let's talk about something fun Xbox related. Halo. Um, Halo, the official Halo account, tweeted out that you should stay tuned for updates on what they're working on at the studio um, for the Halo franchise at HCS this year. HWC, is it HCS or HWC? Are they the same thing?
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Okay, I always call it HCS. So
Well,
HCS
well,
this year.
well. See, like HCS is the championship series, where
Mm-hmm.
WC is like the actual championship.
Gotcha. Well, then, yeah, I'll call it HWC then, because that's what it is. And it's October 24th through the 26th. So, end of October, we're going to be getting some news on what's next for the Halo franchise. I think everyone on the internet kind of fully expects it's going to be the Halo CE remake. But what do you think? Because I remember you told me we talked about this before the Xbox showcase. I thought Halo would be at the showcase, kind of a long shot, but I was hoping that it would be at the showcase. And you kind of maintained it makes a lot of sense for them to be at HCS. So, I mean, you were right. Said it's at the Halo Championship. But what are your thoughts? What are you expecting? Are you on the same boat? The Halo CE remake. Uh, let us know.
I think. Wait, what was the question?
The HCS. What do you think we see? Do you think we see? I mean, I'm assuming
Oh
you think we see the Halo CE remake, but do you think it's we're just getting the Halo CE remake? Do you think it's going to be more than one thing? Do you think we're going to drop hints of
no,
something else? You think what do you think is going to happen?
I think. I think it's gonna be. I think it's a maximum of two things.
Okay.
First of all, I think it's gonna be the reboot, like you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But then secondary, I think, and like I said earlier on my channel, I think I agree with what Mint Blitz said. I think they're gonna announce something about uh, a multiplayer and how they may think they're gonna roll that out, or at least I mean they might not talk about how they're gonna roll it out, but I think they'll give like maybe a heads up on what to look out for, and maybe and maybe try to get on the bandwagon of um 25th anniversary of Xbox, you know?
Yeah. See, yeah,
I think it's just those two things.
I think you're probably right. I mean, Fuzzy Tomatoes says in the chat. I think they'll show multiple games. I think
That'd be cool.
I think they show multiple games, as in like I think they show the CE remake, like that's a thing they show. I think they mention multiple games. If they show multiple games, then holy shit, I mean, I'm all for it. But like, I think they'll show the CE remake and they'll mention, hey, what about Halo 7? Are we still working on it? Yes, no. Like, what's the deal? Like, they have multiple. I think it's confirmed they have 3 games in the works. Um, just talk about them. Like, give us a hint, drop a hint. I mean, shit. You look at what they did last year with that teaser for the Unreal and switch to Unreal Engine. Like, they didn't verbally drop hints, but they kept showing you Master Chief and his Halo CE armor. They were very adamant on showing you that. That's a hint. Um, if that's what we're gonna do for this year's hints, then I'm all for it. But yeah, I think it makes sense to show the CE remake and then probably like a multiplayer thing. Um, unless they plan on Infinite carrying it for the next couple of years until Halo, whatever you want to call it, Halo 7 is out, which I don't know. I wouldn't do that, but I'm not calling the shots over there, so it is what it is. But nonetheless, I am excited. I can't wait to see it. It is pretty much confirmed to be coming next year. I mean, they didn't say Halo at the showcase, but they kind of said it. Being real, Rachie says he's Rachie says I want my Halo date simulator. You and Cozy probably would enjoy that game. The two people who would really enjoy that. That seems like a perfect game for Cozy. But I mean, let's see what else we got here. I mean, speaking of Halo, while we're on the topic, the whole idea of the remake being a reboot, as in like like it's Halo CE, but things are changed. We've rebooted the story. We've added things. We've kept things. Are you in favor of this being a formula for Halo?
With them to kind of keep things separated.
Like, no, not that, but like in the sense of, hey, for the CE remake, it's a full on reboot. We're gonna keep some of the things that you loved for sure, but we're also going to put our own stuff in here. Where we think that things fit, we're gonna put our own things in here, and we're gonna do that for Halo CE. We're gonna do that for Halo 2. We'll do that for Halo 3. Do you think that's a good formula for that going forward? And also, do you think it's kind of a maintainable thing where like, okay, we can do the CE remake, but then we can do Halo 7. We can do Halo 2 remake, but then we can do Halo 8. We can do a spin-off here, and then we can do the Halo 3 remake. Do you think that's a, a viable formula? Do you think that's a doable formula for three? I keep wanting to call them 343, but Halo Studios. Do you think that's a doable formula for them?
If I'm being honest, this is gonna be a simple ass answer. But if I'm being honest, I just I just want them to do what they want to do it. Well, I just want them to do what they want to do and just get it out the door.
Yeah,
Like I'm so tired of all the the passenger seat driving that franchise has taken. Like everybody has an opinion on how things need to go, and then it leaks into their work, and then they feel like something's unfinished that they finished and they did some work, and all of a sudden they need help, and then they need, veterans, and it's just like, stop doing that, man. If you have a direction, drive down that direction. Stop taking exits and asking people that don't really have your best interests in mind what they think of it.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping maybe separating, and I think you actually mentioned it, or Loke or somebody mentioned it earlier in one of our shows, is like when they separate those two, maybe they can find a medium where they can still serve the people. I think, yeah, you said that. Serve the
Yeah.
people that adore the old while trying to maintain and gather new audience. Like, I totally think that's completely doable while still giving things fresh coats of paint, making things look new and good. I feel like they have to follow through on what they say, and one of the main things they say, give people the option of choice, the ability, the way to do things the way they want to. Well, if you believe that, then do it, and just do it.
I thousand
Just
percent
do
agree.
it and stop begging. Stop begging. Yeah, like it'd be different, if it'd be different if it was a bunch of startup companies that needed direction or money, some sort of like n- like noob kind of outlook, right? But it's like you're one of the richest companies in the world, if not like top three, top five, or something like that. You can essentially buy and hire anything that you need. Like everything in this world pretty much has a price tag. So for you to have all of those qualities and such a well thought out tool belt of many decades of growing this business, whether it be in gaming or something else, computing wise. To me, it's just like, if I ha- if I'm rich, I'm not going to be asking random people in the mall how to spend my money.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with those random people in the mall. Some of them random people in the mall may have phenomenal ways of making money, but they didn't get me here in the first place.
Yeah.
You have to take with you got to take what you have. You've already been successful with it, al- albeit maybe you weren't completely responsible for the success, but you bought into that success. So now you have to figure out why it was successful, because it was successful on your platform, not everywhere. This is successful on your platform. It changed the way people looked at your platform. So you just kind of got to figure out how to do that again, and you have to have people around you that actually want to get that done. And then not only that, you also have to have the people above you willing to give you like the time that you need to breathe. And I'm not saying give you the time and all the time in the world, right? Because
Yeah.
Bungie themselves, when they made what was it like what was it, like Halo 2 or something like that?
Oh yeah,
He
Halo
barely
2.
got that they barely got that sucker out of the door in time, right? But just that type of drive and passion from somebody that wants it and is and wants it so bad that it seems like they need it. Like, I feel like, sometimes maybe that's missing from a lot of the culture within gaming in the sense of the people that are responsible for these decisions is just like they may I'm not asking everybody to be perfect with their time management. Sometimes things get delayed, or sometimes you have to, push something out and then update it, which is unfortunate, but that kind of stuff happens. Like, I get that. But, like, some of these devs and stuff lately, not even lately, for like the last like 10 years, seemingly,
Mm-hmm.
have been trying to like pull a fast one, like we can't turn on the game and see it for ourselves.
Yeah.
And like, I just don't understand why somebody would spend tens, if not hundreds, of millions of dollars and not have an inkling of what people are looking for, right?
Mm-hmm.
So so it confuses me, like the latest one being like Mind's Eye, right? People
Oh yeah.
obviously people obviously wanted that type of game, especially since GTA wasn't coming out. People wanted that type of game. 100%. I was one of them. But then you
Yeah.
dig into the game and you go beyond the pretty character and quirky lines, and you just like see the way the game functions. The optimization is terrible, but not even just the optimization being terrible, just like some of the some of the most basic things that you would think would be added to a game at this day and age were just not in that game, or just made the game look ultra stiff and weird. So it's just like the care. It seemed like somebody made the game wanting to get money, but not really caring. Look, it seemed like they wanted to get a quick dollar and get out of and get out of Yonkers or get out of town or something like that, right? It didn't really seem like they made it in the way of somebody that was like, this is my passion project, like Claire Obscure. Like Claire Obscure, that
Well,
game
yeah.
came out, you could that thing was oozing passion.
Like Mind's
That
Eye
game
wanted to get money, not make a game. Clay Obscure wanted to make a game, and because they made a game, they also got money.
exactly. And that's all I'm looking for Halo to do, because that's how like the game like originally came out when it was supposed to come out for Mac and ended up coming out for Xbox.
Yeah.
Like the game was just strictly like they were just trying to, they weren't even exactly trying to create like a new shooter type, right? Even though they kind of forged the way for like FPS in
On
that
consoles, yeah.
type. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, 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 yeah. Especially on consoles, right? Because Doom was kind of like the Doom and Quake was kind of like the thing on PCs and whatnot, and everybody kind of copycatted that. But on console, there wasn't really anything around. Unreal wasn't really do. Unreal Tournament really wasn't out or anything like that yet, like on console at least.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, like when they did Halo, it was just like it wasn't even a multiplayer game at first. So like they have this they have this mindset. And this isn't just Xbox, even though it is heavily Xbox. Like the industry has this mindset that if they don't make something monetizable, that it it can only have diminishing returns.
Yeah.
And it's like plagued the entire industry, that if it doesn't make me immediate money as soon as I throw it out on the market, that it's automatically not good. So like single player games kind of get, I don't know. I feel like single player games that should have a lot of meat and potatoes on them kind of get cut down. And then you have like for a series like Halo, they had to they did end up cutting down the story on the game.
Yeah.
They had the multiplayer just kind of all over the place. And then future updates were like non-existent. And like if they were to separate this thing as like, you got the single player game, they could all focus on just single player game. Or separate the teams and have it single player
Mm-hmm.
game, one team,
Yep.
second team, multiplayer game, third third th- th- third team, random game, or ongoing part to the next piece of the series or something like that, right? They could separate it a lot more. I feel like Infinite, with as big of an IP as this is, it didn't make any sense that they were trying to sell the game as one whole piece, even though one part of it was actually free to play. It didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
And a lot of people were confused about that. I remember when it first came out, a lot of people were confused, like, is this free to play or do I pay for this? There were some people that thought like the multiplayer was the game.
Yeah, dude, especially the way it launched, because it was like it launched, it's like, hey, it's here, and you boot it up, it's just the multiplayer. Like we're tapped into that because we follow that shit. But like just some random person like, oh, they shadow dropped Infinite? Let me get on and play the campaign. You get on, you're like, wait, what? Is the campaign? And that person doesn't know that campaign's coming out December, whatever the fuck it was. They said I can't remember what it was, but like a month later, campaign comes out, and that's yeah. I'm in full agreement with you. That's not how, especially for a game like that. That's probably not how you want to do that.
It's like it's the same tile, but it's separated and it's weird.
Yes,
And it's like in a way, it kind of reminds me of what they did with Call of Duty, and I hate it.
mm-hmm.
Call of Duty's is worse, way worse,
Oh, Call of Duty
because
HQ is criminal.
because
It's terrible.
yeah, because it's just like advertisements and random playlists for different games just vomited on the screen is what it looks like.
Bro,
Um,
this isn't Call of Duty HQ, but I turned on my PC today, and Xbox app opens because it always opens when I turn my computer on, and I saw the first thing, giant thing in the middle, giant tile in the middle of my screen was Beavis and Butthead in like tactical gear, and it's like plays Beavis and Butthead in Call of Duty, and I'm just like, what? I'm just like, huh? I'm just like, what's going on? I like, I don't, I don't get it. Like it's stuff like that. Plus, we're talking about the Call of Duty HQ that makes Call of Duty seem like Call of Duty almost doesn't feel real to me anymore. And not in a sense of like this doesn't feel realistic, but in like a sense of like I can't believe that game exists.
what we're talking about, they need to do with Call of Duty as well.
Yes, yes, 100%.
What we're talking about right now, they need to do with Call of Duty. Like Call
Yeah.
of Duty it is no different in Halo in the sense of you can have a ton of different IPs for it. You can. And
Oh, I
right
agree.
now, the way that they're making the multiplayer, that thing just needs to have its own ship and just kind of sail. Because like it doesn't, like, other than the maps, it correlates nothing with the story.
Yeah.
Other
Also,
than just the maps. The maps are only because they're the maps are made because they're within the story, right?
Yep.
But like, as for the correlation within multiplayer, if you hopped on there just to play multiplayer, you'd have no idea those maps were in the
Campaign.
were in the
Yeah.
campaign. You'd have no
Yep.
idea. So, so,
I,
so, so so I feel like they need to just make that its own constant upgradable map pack, its own piece within that stupid launcher that it has, and just have the rest of the other things that say other Call of Duties, have those all just be single player things. Like, do you want to play this single player? Do you want
yes.
to play that single player? Do you want to play that single player? Do you want to play that single player? And then maybe middle section for zombies. Do you want to play this type of zombies? Do you want to play that type of zombies? Do you want to play the Warfare 3 version of survival instead of zombies? And just like that middle section of just special ops, and then the right side for multiplayer, and then maybe a further right side for zone, and that's it. Instead of having Black Ops 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then you get into that, and then it's like, download these 8 different things if you want, but really you only need 4 of them. And it's just like, it's like,
Yeah.
just get this out of here.
It's
It's like, no, I want multiplayer, or I want story, or I want Warzone, or or zombies. Let's just keep those things kind of in their own aisle.
yeah. Bro, like I had it.
Like Warhammer, right? Just like Warhammer. Warhammer, I
Yo,
feel
Warhammer
like
does it
they
great.
aisle their things really well. Like, you're very clear. And I actually said that earlier when we were talking about it. I was like, Warhammer does a great job because they take Space Marine and they put everything with Space Marine in that one game, but that's only a slice of Warhammer.
Yeah. Warhammer does it great. Um Blind, appreciate you for stopping by, Blind Giant 808. Vinny in the chat. Haven't talked to Vinny in a while. Appreciate you for stopping by, buddy. Vinny asks, is Turn 10 a support studio now? Because last Motorsport took forever to come out and it wasn't even finished. I can't see how they'll function with half the workforce now. It's I don't know that they're support studio, but I get what you're saying. It feels kind of like that. Because it feels like they're like just like
They
I don't
really
know.
under delivered on their last game, though.
Yeah. Like I was really enjoying Motorsport and I played it for about 3 weeks. And then I legit have not touched it since. There's been no reason for me to touch it
Yeah.
since. If I want to
I
play
played it for like 2 weeks, and the performance wasn't the best, and I stopped.
oh dude, the performance dude, if you try booting that up on PC, like even on my PC, if I were to boot that up now on PC, it's still not great. Um
That's what I mean. I remember when it came out, and like the specs of it and whatnot. I was like, oh, my 3080 should have no problem with this. And
should, yeah.
dude, that thing was fucking chugging.
It shouldn't.
And I mean, my CPU is really old now, but I feel like even if I built my new computer with the stuff that I have now, it'd still like have some sort of issues with something. You can only
Yeah.
brute force so much.
Yep. But I get what Vinny's saying, especially for turn 10 specifically, because like I mean you think of like what Playground's doing right now. Like Fable, obviously Phil mentioned we'll see a Forza next year, so Forza Horizon 6, obviously. Um if that wasn't obvious before, it definitely is now. But like Fable's on Forza Tech. So and who knows Forza Tech? I mean, I guess Playground knows Forza Tech to some degree. I mean, they built Forza Horizon on it. They're building Fable on it. But who knows it better than them? It's Turn 10. Turn 10 knows it better than them. I put it this way, like when Fable comes out and people roll credits on that game, I guarantee you Turn 10 is going to have a decent amount of credits on that game. I would feel pretty comfortable saying that. Just given the fact that it is the Forza Tech engine. Um, let's see what else we got here. Uh, Uh, Fuzzy Tomato says I just download the COD multiplayer every year. It's easy. It's so for like the launcher. I just like I mean the Call of Duty HQ. I don't like the fact that like for example they just added Call of Duty World War II to Game Pass, and I remember playing that game a lot when it came out. I was like, oh shit, World War II, love that game. I'll download it again and play some of it. I've been playing that the last couple nights, having a blast playing that. What I like about it, which it's something you took for granted back then, is the fact that I boot up the game and all of the game is there. It's all there. It's a 77 gigabyte download. It is all there on the thing. I don't have to download other things. I don't have to uninstall things I don't care about. The whole game is on the thing. You either install it or you don't install it. Versus with the Call of Duty launcher, it's like, dude, I wanted to play because I'm playing World War II. I bought Call of Duty Vanguard, never really played it, and I was like, I should download Call of Duty Vanguard, and I'll probably end up doing it tonight. But I had to stop and think for a second. Wait, is Vanguard one of the games that's in the Call of Duty HQ launcher? Oh my god, if it is, I'm gonna have to go into the Call of Duty HQ launcher. I'm gonna have to download specific Vanguard things so that I can play Vanguard. But do I want to play the multiplayer? Maybe I want to play the multiplayer. So then I got to download the multiplayer. Like, it's just dumb that that's a thought that has to cross my head, honestly. Um, it's not the fact really that the HQ thing is this horrible, awful thing. I don't like it, but it's just dumb that it to me it's just dumb that it exists and the way that it does. Um, let's see. Raichi says a car game shouldn't take that much CPU. I 1,000% agree. That game eats CPUs. Fuzzy Tomato says I get like 150 FPS on max settings. I played a good amount of Motorsport. I have Horizon downloaded right now though. I only keep one Forza downloaded at a time. Yeah, I got Horizon 4 and 5 downloaded on my Xbox right now. In fact, I have Horizon 4 downloaded on my ROG Ally. Um, but yeah, I get you on that. Raichi says L to Microsoft and expansion scam cards. That's something that I don't think I don't think I've heard many people talk about lately, or for a while. But the fact that there was this whole thing of like, eventually the expansion cards will come down in price, and for a second there they did, and they are better than they used to be. Like, don't get it twisted, they're definitely a lot better than they used to be. But wasn't it not too long ago that they came out with like a 4 terabyte one that was like $300 or $400?
Yeah, I think it was like 429 or something like that.
Shit, dude, yeah, that's tough, man. And it's like it's not like, if you're on PlayStation, it's amazing, but you're getting a much better deal for a 4 terabyte SSD. Because if you go to Amazon, you just type in 4 terabyte Gen 4 SSD and you're good to go. It's probably like 200 bucks, 220, 250, if I had to guess. But you're good to go at that point. Versus, Ham just said the 430. That's kind of nutty. Um, Fuzzy Tomato says I was playing Motorsport on the cloud for a while. It works really good on the cloud. I would imagine it does. Uh, would those expansion cards would have been a huge hit if they were like $50 a terabyte? Yeah, dude, for $50 a terabyte, I'd have probably bought a couple. Honestly, I mean that was the first thing I did when I got my Series X. Was I got a 1 terabyte expansion card. It's the first thing I did when I got my Series X. Um, but shit, man. Yeah, I mean that is the news for this week. I'm sat here looking at VGC trying to see if I can find anything else that's, worthy of spending some amount of time on. I don't I'm not seeing it. It's all Xbox layoffs, and we've sure as shit covered that. But yeah, anything else you want to mention, say before we get out of here?
Yeah, Rebs Gaming. Are you familiar with that?
I am familiar with that.
He says Halo Studio was affected by the Microsoft Xbox layoffs, and then he went on to say, "Here's more information." Gadget, who spoke to a Halo Studios dev- at least
At least what? You cut out.
invitations. At least 5 employees were laid off. They received an invite to organization leaders. And 2 hours later, the team call began. The mood at the studio is tense, especially when it comes to one project that was recently in crisis, according to the developer. I don't think anybody is really happy about the quality of the product right now, they said. There's been a lot of tension and pep talks trying to rally folks to ship. Since
Mm-hmm.
2023, there's been a general shift towards working with contracted studios rather than individual contractors in the United States and Europe to speed up Halo production. Developers say Microsoft is trying their damnedest to replace as many jobs as with agents.
So, I mean, shit. Yeah, I'll say the one good thing out of that I like to hear is that they're focused on contracting studios as opposed to just a revolving door of contractors all the time. That whole situation though
Put on,
sucks. I'm
he
interested.
put as
What's
a
up?
tidbit I said he put as a tidbit, I guess my report about replacing Steve Downs and Jen Taylor with AI is definitely true.
Is definitely true. I mean, shit. We'll see how
That's
that
what he
goes.
feels.
That's what he feels. Okay, so he feels it's definitely true. There's okay.
Well, the thing
Um,
is, yeah, he reported about it back in May, and now
mm-hmm.
he's saying that it feels like it's seemingly true.
Shit, man, that stinks. I hope it's not, but I look at this comment from Rachie. AI is taking over Microsoft, and remember, well, let's do that first part first. AI is taking over Microsoft. I hope that's not true, but what Rachie just said right there is true. Microsoft is very in on AI, and that's not a secret. So, as much as I hope that's not true, fuck, man, I can't lie and say that it would surprise me if it was. Um, but yeah, dude, that stinks. I'm interested to know what this project that they're all very tense about and worried about. I mean, shit. If they're worried about it, then that means it's probably gonna get axed, and if it gets axed, then maybe we never hear about it. Um, but I don't know. We're gonna have to wait and see. Fuzzy Tomato brings up a funny point here. He says the funny thing is Halo 5 was about an AI going crazy and trying to kill everyone. It was. It was literally about that. But hey, it's 2025. AI is happening. It is happening. Blind Giant says I heard Phil Spencer is getting replaced by AI source. Trust me, bro. Yeah, right. But damn, I mean, what do you think about that? I mean, I gotta be honest. I wasn't be lying if I said I expected Halo Studios to get through all of this unscathed. So it doesn't surprise me that perhaps there were some layoffs at Halo Studios. But what are your thoughts? And do you have any idea like of what? I mean, not like from an insider perspective, but do you have any guess as to what this project that they're so worried about could be or could have been?
I'd assume the remake.
You'd assume what?
I assume it could be like the reboot or remake.
Hmm. Okay.
just trying to spin it correctly for everything to kind of make sense. But then again, it could very well be like trying to make multiplayer feel like it did on Slipspace.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that would probably be their biggest cash cow to be worth, right?
Oh, for sure. That's the moneymaker. I I think I think see I think the remake is I think that's like the one guaranteed thing from Halo Studios. And I only think that, and granted things change. We're very aware of that with Xbox. Uh, but the showcase they just did, Phil said, and the return of a classic that's been with us since the beginning. That is so obviously Halo CE. So I think if that game was in any danger, Phil wouldn't have said that. Or at least I would hope he wouldn't have said that. Fuzzy Tomato says Mass Effect 5 will be completely made by AI and the Reapers will be the good guys. There you go. That's a twist. Um, but shit, man. Yeah, I'm interested to see what comes out about this. Perhaps in the next couple days, maybe by Friday's show on your guys' channel, we'll know exactly what's happened at Halo Studios, if anything, because this is just kind of a rumor at this point. But yeah, I mean, see if there's anything else here. I don't got anything else. Do you have anything else?
Mm, no, I have nothing else.
Nothing else. All right, sounds good. But we're gonna get up out of here, and before we do, Ham, let them know where they can find you, what you're up to, all that fun stuff.
Um, I'm not doing a whole lot. I'll be, playing some games again through this 4th of July and getting ready for the
Yeah,
show. Bull sitting supposed to be on Friday as well, so I'll be I'll be here for I'll be on my channel for that. Other
yeah.
than that, that's it.
You can have a couple of glizzies, couple of dogs over the weekend, couple of
Um,
dogs. Oh my god.
live that Matt likes games lifestyle
Oh,
right there.
I'll eat a hot dog. I could go for a hot dog right now, but
You're a glizzy gobbler.
it's the guy, goddamn fact, brother. I'm a glizzy gobbler.
All Matt needs is a two glizzies and a couple heaters, and he's fucking good for the weekend.
Oh, I can't. I don't smoke. I can't smoke. But for the sake of the joke, yes. For the sake of the joke, yes. Give me some heaters and some glizzies, and I'm good to go. But yeah, I mean, shit. That's where you can find him. You can find him TSWS Gaming. Link in the description for that. Friday we have a show, 4 p.m. Eastern. Bull sitting. Check that out on that channel. It's always a fun time every week. As for myself, you can find me here every week for this show, Wednesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern, the Two Player Podcast with myself and my buddy Ham Solo here. Sundays at 8 p.m. Eastern is the Healthy R3 Podcast with myself, Harday's Mike, and it's me, Twan. And then videos every week. Seeing about putting together something. I got ideas for the channel. We're putting together a couple things. It's ideas rolling in the back of my head. But we'll see how that goes. But yeah, that's where you can find me. That's where you can find Ham. We're gonna get up out of here. We will see you all next week. Thank you for watching.